Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Mayflower Super Kids Silk. This 76% mohair, 24% silk yarn features 97 colors. The colorway that we chose is 78 Pale Yellow. This 25-gram skein with 195 meters or 213 yards works up as a lace weight yarn. The suggested gauge on 4.5 to 5 millimeter needles is 22 stitches and 27 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be using a 4.5 millimeter needle size. Currently, this yarn is available for purchase at Lindy Hobby, which you can shop with the link down below. In today's video, we're going to review and score Mayflower Super Kid Silk using our 4 categories, which are traction, softness, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. If you've ever wished you could actually feel the yarns we talk about, we totally get it. Screens just don't do it justice. That's why we created a monthly yarn sampler card on Patreon. Every month we send out 6 mini yarn samples so you can explore new textures, fibers, and brands from home. And the best part, your first month is totally free, so you can try it out and see if it helps you discover what you really love to knit with. The link is in the description if you'd like to check it out. Let's get started. For traction, we give it a score of 4 out of 5. I loved working with this yarn. It was such a pleasure. Mohair yarns are just a little more tricky to work with than, say, a soft merino that glides like butter on the needles. It wasn't prickly or irritating, and for being a fuzzy halo mohair, it behaved well in my opinion. The fibers seemed to be longer and more straight than other mohairs than we reviewed in the past. Not a bad thing, just wanted to point it out. I think the amount of fluff could be too much for you to use wooden needles, causing a lot of drag. I like my nickel-plated needles for this, but that's just a personal preference. For softness, we give it a score of 4.7 out of 5. It felt so light and airy straight from the skein, maybe how it was spun into the ball, but I was so excited to cast it on. It has more of a matte silk core, not as shiny, which I do personally like. Quality-wise, it felt kind of in the mid-range, not like Tilia, Aloft, or Isager, but far better than Drops and Hobie mohair because it was still soft enough for me with sensitive skin to work with. How can I tell? Well, it doesn't feel plasticky or squeaky or prickly, but it wasn't blowing me out of the water either. For comparison, it is softer than Sandisgarn Tin Silk mohair and not quite as soft as Yarnsmith's Kid Mohair Silk. I'd say it's pretty comparable to Cama Rose Midnatisol. For a micron count or softness scale rating, we'd estimate it to be about a 21. When it comes to breathability, both of these natural fibers have properties that promote air circulation. Depending on if or what additional yarn you pair this with, it can create a fabric that will feel light, airy, and comfortable to wear while still providing warmth. For durability, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. While mohair and silk are fairly strong and resilient, it's actually still somewhat delicate. Yes, mohair is often held double with another yarn, and that would affect its durability. Mohair fibers are soft and thin and can be more susceptible to damage from abrasion or friction. Over time, this can cause a lot of pilling or wear in places like the underarms of a garment. And although silk is shiny and smooth, it can also weaken with repeated wear. And because it is not superwash treated, you will need to be cautious when washing it by hand. And when it came to our stress test, it shined. There was only a tiny amount of halo or fuzz collection, but no pill balls formed. For cost, we give it a score of 3.8 out of 5. For being a 25-gram skein, you can expect to pay $10.25 US per skein. That breaks down to about 5 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater quantity would cost approximately $62 holding it single-stranded, not including a second yarn. Overall, we give Mayflower Super Kid Silk a score of 4.25 out of 5. When I was initially knitting it, I thought, yeah, this could be a great option in the mid-price range, but honestly, we've reviewed softer mohair for a cheaper price. Granted, this does have a lot more color choices than some, and I would still work with it again, but I don't think this would be my first choice unless I'm looking for that specific colorway. Have you used Mayflower's Super Kid Silk yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.